Hello there, YouTube. This is Chris, and I welcome you to the Alone Zone. If you don't know, this is a vlog from a nobody from Pensacola, Florida, that uses what is given to him, which is called YouTube, the ability to open up and have his voice heard, and hopefully gather a following of people who don't mind listening to people, regular human beings, who have had a tough go of it, spill their guts and just talk about life in general and tell a story. Even though I'm a nobody, I'm not famous, I believe everyone in this country should use the outlet given to them. I have social anxiety, and because nobody's around me and I'm just filming these videos, it's not hard for me to do that. You would think that somebody with social anxiety, it'd be hard to make a video. No, people were around when I was doing this. Like, I have to find places where there's nobody, and if somebody was to come up to this park right now, I'd have to quit this video and I'd have to go somewhere else. But I need an outlet. I have no friends, if you know anything about me, and this is basically where I'm able to talk and open up and have 20 minutes or so per video, just to spill my guts, and hopefully somebody listens. That's really all the key is here, is somebody listens, somebody understands, finds it interesting, even though it's just a guy sitting talking. There's no entertaining value to this. Hopefully someone will understand what's going on here, and may have been through it themselves, and use YouTube or whatever as their outlet. So touch on a few things. I'm big on support. Support groups are essentially what everybody who is in turmoil needs to succeed. And I find that those who don't have support never make it. Those that don't have support are the ones that go on rampages, mass murdering sprees, are the ones that commit suicide. There's a local story, and it's going to be posted Friday on YouTube, and it was a local high school here. Did a video about bullying, and bullying is a big topic in America, and I think I said it in my Google Plus video, that my next video, which is this one, is going to talk about bullying in this country and how aware it's became, and I'm one of the best people to speak on it. But anyways, the local high school here is doing a video about a kid that's getting bullied, and he ends up killing himself, and they don't understand the magnitude of it until he does so. So this video is going to become public on YouTube on Friday. I will, when Friday comes up, I'm going to go to the video, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to rip it, and I'm going to upload it to my channel. And from what I heard, it's very good, very inspirational in the message that it sends. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due to the high school that made it and the kids that are involved in it. The reason I want to put it on my channel is simply because it's something that I'm going to become passionate about, I believe. Something that maybe I can do with my life, and that speak up about bullying. You would think that a guy like me who was 5'10", 220 to 250 pounds throughout his middle school and high school days wouldn't be bullied. And a lot of times when you see people who are bullied, you would never... Well, some of them you might, and that's wrong to say, but then there are others that you would look at and say, there's no way that person would be bullied. I'll say this, I was never bullied physically. You couldn't bully me physically, that just wasn't going to happen. I got into a lot of fights, and I've said this in other videos, over it. The way I was bullied was mentally. I was pushed almost to suicide, to the point where I attempted suicide twice in my teen years. Mental bullying does exist. People think it's all physical, getting punched and beat and pushed and stuff like that. No. That's not, that's bad, but the major bullying comes mentally, and because you don't see it, you don't see physical scars, you overlook it. And that's the problem we have with mental health in general. People who have mental illnesses such as myself, you look at me and I get comments, oh, you're a normal looking dude, you look fine, oh, this and that. That's the problem I've had all my life. You look at me and you don't see anything. You don't see scars, you don't see wounds, because you can't see my brain. My brain is severely scarred. My serotonin levels, they did a test a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure it hasn't changed. It might have even gotten worse. We're like, at the time, like somewhere around 15 to 20% at, what a normal person should be. Mine was only at 15 to 20% on a 100% scale. So, and serotonin, I don't know a lot about it, but I do know it's the pleasure center. It's the chemical that's released into your brain when you're happy. It gives you good emotion, makes you feel good. So I was lacking in that, and they tried to put me on, pills to fix it, and for whatever reason they never worked, and maybe that I didn't stay on them long enough, I don't know. I went to self-medication because they didn't work, and because my grandmother really didn't like, those types of medicines, but she didn't understand at that time what was going on. She was a generation gap, being raised by someone much older than you. Like, if I was raised by my parents, my mom and my father, if they were around, my mom had me when she was 17, my father was 20, so they would have been able to relate kind of a little bit. They would have been a little more younger and could have understood, but I didn't have that. So I had a grandmother who was double that. That's 50 plus years or 40 plus years older than me, so she couldn't relate and she didn't understand what was going on, and I can't really blame her for anything that happened to me, as far as not keeping me, with the psychiatric treatment. But back to bullying. So many kids are committing suicide, and I've been there. I've tried. I survived, but I've been there, and I don't know why I'm still alive. I don't see what purpose I'm serving. But maybe it could be to speak up about bullying and maybe help someone who's going through it. I don't know. It's just something that seems to be a big topic in our country, and like I said, you can't see the physical scars because most of it's mental. But believe it or not, your brain is scarred, and you have the mental images, the voices from what's going on. It's all in your head, and like still to this day, 31 years old, 15 to 20 years removed from that setting, and I can still hear the kids, putting me down. I can still hear the PE coaches hammer me, calling me pork chop and meatloaf and fatty Arbuckle, and I can still hear the teachers calling the honor roll, or the roll call, not honor roll, in the morning when they call you the roll, would get to my name and say meatloaf or pork chop. And, I still hear that. I still see that. And those are scars. Those are experiences that affected me dramatically. And look at me now. I can't function socially. I have zero social skills. I'm depressed all the time. I have no energy. I barely go out. I go out at a total for about an hour a day. Unless I have a doctor's appointment, then I'll stay out a little longer. I hate going to the grocery store. Actually, the only places I do go are the grocery store, my doctor's appointments, the clinic to get my medicine, and when I go out driving and stop to make these videos. That's all I do. I don't like being out in the world. Like I said, when I walk into any place I go, I don't go many places, but when I do go, when I step into the room, I think everybody's eyes are on me and they're automatically putting me down and, laughing at me. And even though that's not the case, that's what I see in my mind because of the experiences that I went through. And it's such a shame that in this society, we can't learn how not to just, this is not murdering, this is not rape, this is not on that level. But it's bad. Why in this society human beings can't understand that calling someone a name may not seem that bad, but it is. That picking on someone, it is. And you look at them down there, me 20 years later, my life is in shambles, and it's been in shambles. I have no friends. I can't, the only thing I want was, to have a family and find someone and fall in love. I've never been able to do that. Like I said, I have no social skills. And then these images plague me. I'm still trying to get over things that happened to me back then. The first girl that put me down, I'm still trying to get over that. Hell, even recently, I was in Walmart and I was walking around, and I walked, it was kind of crowded, and I didn't want to be in there anyways, but I was walking and I could hear as I was coming down the aisle, and this is just an isolated incident, but these two females, I guess probably in their mid-20s, I was just walking down, And I could hear him as I was, getting towards the end of the aisle. I could hear them say, "Man, that guy's ugly." I heard that. I was like, "What the hell? What did I do? I'm just walking through an aisle here. These two girls, women in their mid-20s, you know, they said, 'Man, that guy sure was ugly.'" And I heard that. And my goodness, why would someone do that? I don't even know you. And that hurt. That happened on last Friday, and that really bothered me. All weekend, it's still bothering me. And this is why I don't get out. And I don't understand why people take it upon themselves to put someone else down. And they say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Bullshit. Words hurt. People can act like they don't, but they do. And they cut deep. And you would think that, people would just, learn how, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. And I don't see why somebody else thinks it's right to put someone into a place of where they hate life, they don't want to go to school anymore, they are miserable, and then parents are having to go through the loss of their children. These kids are finding, I don't know, are coming across, weapons, or they're finding drugs, whatever they do. And it's such a shame. And it's not affecting, just the person. It happens to their family. I can imagine there was a 12-year-old girl that jumped from a tower or something a couple months ago because these ghouls were bullying her on Facebook. And I guess they went to the same school, I don't know, but when I heard that, that just broke my heart. A 12-year-old girl had the life and everything ahead of her, and she was forced into jumping off a tower to kill herself because she couldn't handle it. Society, the world is an evil place, and people think that life is special, and life is grand, and we should appreciate life. And I hear it all the time: appreciate life, appreciate what you have, this and that, this and that. But these people don't understand. Life is not great. Life, the perception of what life is supposed to be does not, equate to everyone. And for some, life means absolute nothing. And that, I'm one of those people. Life doesn't mean anything to me. I'm barely in existence. I'm basically I'm not even a part of this world. I haven't been a part of this world for years. I'm living and I'm breathing and I'm in it. But I don't, like I said, no friends. Have nobody. The only person I matter to is my grandmother. That's it. And it's a shame that only one person knows and cares about me. One person. And then when she dies, because she's 80, there won't be anybody. And that's really going to be hard for me to take. And it boggles me that people think life is so special and it's a gift. Life is not a gift. Period. Maybe some people were born with silver spoons in their mouth and got handed everything and got to see the bright side of life. But I'd say 90+% of people are suffering through something. Think about those people in the Philippines, those poor people. And I'm thinking about all these celebrities and these rich people. And they want people like me and you to donate. They've got all this money. They get on TV, and they're asking regular people to donate money to these causes. That's fine and well. Even $1 helps. But these celebrities, at the end of the day, they're not doing anything. Yeah, they're asking you to help, but they're barely donating anything themselves, like Bill Gates. Bill Gates has enough money for hundreds and thousands of lifetimes, based on an average amount of money, an average life, middle-class life. Bill Gates right now could probably donate $1 billion to relieve and be fine. You know what I mean? There are so many other celebrities that could donate $1 million and be fine. Just think, if Bill Gates donated $1 billion, and then 20 other celebrities donated $1 million. You're looking at $1,020,000,000 going to relief. Why is this not happening? Those poor people, and a lot of people say we shouldn't care about them. They're on the other side of the world. So what? They're human beings too. They have families. They have lives. They're affected. We should care about them. I wish I could do something. I can't. I'm not in a position to where I can help. I did send $10. I texted, and $10 is going, to the relief. But really, what is that? A little bit of food, a little bit of water, but it's something, but it's not a lot. You know what I mean? It just boggles me that I see celebrities on TV wanting to have marathons and telling regular Joes like me and you to donate, but they're not really donating themselves. And whatever they do donate is really not that much compared to how much they had. But back to bullying, it just, I hate it that so many people brush it off like because they can't see the physical wounds, like people aren't hurting, people aren't suffering. Like I said, people have told me all my life there's nothing wrong with you, you're like fine, but they don't understand my mind is scarred. It is forever scarred, and it's probably never going to be healed, And, to this day I'm not suicidal, but I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I don't wish I was dead. And the reason why is because I don't know what life is. I don't have a life. I'm living and breathing, but I'm not, I'm not a part of society. I was shunned from society. I was an outcast. I was pushed out of society. And every time I tried to put a foot back in, something happened. Just like the other day. Just walking down a grocery store aisle. Two women, like they're in their mid-20s, maybe a little younger. And I heard them say, man, that guy sure was ugly. That's ridiculous. Why does somebody do that? And it starts to upset me, and I really want to say more. But when I start thinking about my past, and I start thinking about, this issue and what's going on and how many people are being affected these days, and that a lot of kids don't survive, they die. And those kids could go on to create the greatest invention, be a president. Oh, that's probably not so great, but could go on to do something amazing in this world. Now they don't have a chance. All because some people took it upon themselves to pick on them, name call them, and just put them down for no reason other than to make themselves feel better, I guess what I'm trying to figure out, wrap my mind around, is the people that do the mental and bullying, the name calling and the putting down of others, what is going on in their life, And I've heard before, those people must have a lot of problems in their life, so this is the only thing they know how to do, is because they're not happy in their life and something's wrong in their life, they're putting it out on others. That's the wrong thing to do. If they're not happy in their life, if there's some things going on in their life that are troublesome, then they need to speak up, and they need to get out, and they, need to seek help, and they tell you to, kids in school, go to your teachers, go to your principal, whatever. But that's not always, help, because like I said, because they can't see it, they brush it off like it's nothing. And what I really think it's going to take is, and this is the wrong thing to do, but, it's going to take a thing where a kid that's getting picked on and bullied, maybe I don't know if I should urge this or not, but, they have these small cameras and devices and audio equipment now that you can't even see. Maybe they ought to hook some of that stuff up to them, go to school one day, and that way they actually have the evidence to show people who don't believe them. Because that, like me, I had no one to go to. When I have teachers that were calling me the names that I was being called, and I felt like, I couldn't go to anybody and seek help, and my grandma couldn't relate, so I felt like I had nobody to turn to. So I was trying to battle it on my own, and I went down the wrong road. There's nothing I can do about it now, but these kids in school, a lot of the times the teachers don't believe them. The principals don't believe them. And, without evidence, it's sad. And why would some kid lie about getting made fun of to the point where they're in tears all the time or they want to, kill themselves? That's what bothers me. When a kid goes to seek help and then the authority, the one above them, doesn't believe them. And, you know, why would somebody just make that up, you know? And anyways, I'm getting off track, and, you know, there's a lot better things I could say. And like I said, when I start thinking about all this stuff, it kind of like upsets me, and then my words get lost. And I had all these great things I want to say, and I can't put all the words together, but I'll talk about this some more, you know. And this video is running long, and I'm going to end it here. There'll be a part 2 to bullying, and I promise the next video I talk about, I'll try to do a better job of getting the wording together and getting my feelings out, because I usually do a good job of conveying my feelings, but for whatever reason right now, I can't do it. I don't know why, but I do appreciate anyone that watches and listens, and any positive support, you know, appreciate all that. And so that's Chris. This has been another episode of The Alone Zone, and I'm out, and I will see you in a few days. Peace.